What is going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to talk about SoFi. I want to give you some good updates, so go over some updated data points very relevant to a lot of investors, tie it all together with some technical analysis, and go over some points that I do find very interesting and a little bit more bullish despite this big red day. And with that as well, I'm going to talk why exactly we are down as much as we are. But before I get into any of that, all I ask, smash a thumbs up, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Greatly appreciate that. If you do like my channel and support the growth, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. But with all that said, let's get right to it. So looking at the intraday chart today, unfortunately not much positive things to say. It is very much red, and unfortunately I was hoping that SoFi was going to hold the $10.70 support level, but it does seem like there is a lot of fear out there, and as you can tell based on the broader indexes, all very much red. NASDAQ down 1.85% as well. So looking at the live ticker to my left, currently down 8.13%, 65.2 million as far as volume right now, whereas the average is 41.3 block volume. So 11.2 million shares being purchased by institutions and hedge funds today alone. So despite everything, there is still a lot of value, and institutions and hedge funds do realize that. And so first and foremost, keeping in line with institutions and hedge funds though, I just want to go over the latest round of 13Fs. Right now it is ETF season, so a lot of ETFs are showing their position. A couple of things I want to draw to your attention. I always want to show you this. The average share price in a lot of these ETFs or institutions is at the mid to high teens. So a lot of institutions and hedge funds do find a lot of value at these prices. And keep in mind, when a lot of these purchases were done, they were not technically a chartered bank. So that's one thing to take away from all of that. But despite that, there is one institution that completely disagrees with absolutely everything I just said. Bank of America downgrades SoFi. It says good news is already reflected in the price. So that's pretty interesting kind of way whether Bank of America is just threatened by SoFi, because SoFi is a very big disruptor. And at the end of the day, given the circumstances of what's happening in the market, aka higher interest rates, SoFi will definitely succeed in that environment. So it's interesting to hear what Bank of America is saying about that. And I personally just feel that's a little bit more manipulation. And keeping in line with manipulation, I'm going to talk about short interest. So short interest and SoFi have been going hand in hand for quite some time. I completely disagree with that as well. I personally feel that is being overdone, and we are sitting at a substantial discount. But like I said, I'm going to go through everything and whether it's a good buying opportunity. So looking at short interest right now, 1807, down roughly about 9%. Utilization is at 100%. Day by day change, it is actually increasing 2.85%, which works out to be 6.78 million shares being additionally shorted. So again, that's very interesting. They are doubling down on SoFi. They are completely piggybacking off of Powell, which I'm going to touch on that, and also Bank of America. So when it comes down to short interest, I do feel that this is a little bit too high for SoFi of where it should be. And also, if you ever have any questions about anything short interest related or any data points I do bring up, feel free to drop a comment and I will definitely address that. And looking over this, so given the circumstances of what's happening, this is very bullish. So right now, $16.08 million worth of options being done today, with 62% of them being positive. Yesterday was 60%, and all of last week was 58%. So despite everything that's happening in the market right now, options activity is showing and representing a little bit more of a bullish trend. So I do really like that. It shows a lot of anticipation that there is going to be upside. And when it comes down to all this information is available via Ortex. Link is in the description below for you to take a look at. And like I said, I did bring up Bank of America, and that is one thing I personally do feel that killed 100% the momentum for SoFi, especially based on their earnings. They had a home run earnings, very good guidance, and at the end of the day, it's very interesting to see things like this that just kills the momentum. Pure manipulation, in my opinion at least. Keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own due diligence. And again, despite all of that, SoFi is ready for a higher interest rate environment, and they will flourish with that. So Powell coming out today is causing a lot of fear and sparked the market to kind of cause a little bit more of a sell-off, because markets don't like surprises. And it's been floating around that the likelihood of the Feds actually doing a 50-point increase for interest rates was diminishing, especially considering Russia tensions and all of that. But especially him speaking today, he did say it is basically back on the table, and everything that they were planning to do as far as rate increases throughout all 2022, 2023 is still on the table. So again, that is a very big surprise, and markets don't like surprises one bit. So with all of that though, there is one interesting thing I do want to show you, and despite the earnings and everything like that, Analysts still technically do really like SoFi, despite of what Bank of America said, because there is still no sells. And as far as a growth aspect company such as SoFi, this is very rare to come by, that there is actually 0 sells, 4 holds, and 9 buys. Target price of $18.13 with a potential return of 56%. So again, despite whatever Bank of America is saying, still a lot of good things when it comes down to SoFi. A lot of institutions still find a lot of value at it. And again, looking at the 13Fs, you can even see just scrolling way down, a lot of them have the 15-ish range for a average share price, so they did find significant value at those prices. And again, that was well before they were even a chartered bank. So I once again completely disagree with Bank of America. I know I'm probably saying that the third time because I do feel that this is pure manipulation, and I'm very surprised that Bank of America does that because they don't normally play that kind of manipulation game. And with that, I'm just going to transition and talk on some technical analysis. So right now, the 50, 100, 200-day moving averages, Bollinger Bands, RSI, stochastic, momentum. So overall, pretty good representation, everything you need to know. Looking at momentum, so it shows number of buyers has been going down a little bit and consistently as well. And looking at stochastic, you can see there is no defined trend right now. So given the circumstances, most likely tomorrow we'll see where that develops for stochastic. RSI is currently at 42 as well. And on the actual chart is a very interesting chart to say the least. We went from lower percentile, so getting killed, and this was largely because of Russia, and then transitioning from the lower to the higher percentile of the Bollinger Band, massive rally, and then that just got killed. So it's all over the place, and this unfortunately going up and down as much as it is, it does completely kill investor confidence. Because typically when investors are seeing a company, they want them to hold gains, especially considering if there's a bright future for it, aka SoFi. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. Given all the circumstances in the short term, I do see it going down a little bit more. And again, I just want to show you this right now. Looking at the Fibonacci, we did break past a very strong and pivotal point. So $11.27 we did break past today. And like I said, you can see S1 is at $9.47. Russia tensions did actually get us between the S2 and the S1, so $8.35. So given the circumstances and kind of the momentum for selling off right now, we could possibly get back to where we were between the S2 and the S1. Again, that's very realistic. I like to give you the good, the bad, the ugly in my channel. So again, you might not completely agree with that. It is what it is though. Long term though, for those investors that are investing for the long-term time horizon, 5 to 10 years out, SoFi is at a screaming buying opportunity. And again, you can tell that based on all the institutions, all the options activity, there's a lot of upside for SoFi, and 2022 is going to be a very big year, especially based on all the acquisitions that they have been doing recently. So like I said, it is what it is given all the circumstances. Not much we can change given the circumstances of what's happening on the Fed front. But with all that, let me know your thoughts on SoFi in the comments below. If you haven't already, smash your thumbs up, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. I greatly appreciate that. Don't forget to pop over and take a look at my Discord, link in the description below. It's a free chat, lots of fun people on there, and a lot of good chat. With all that said, I appreciate you guys watching, and let's all make a lot of money on SoFi.